Today I'm in Powder Springs, Georgia, and in this video we're going to discuss the 5 reasons you would want to consider raising a family in Powder Springs, Georgia. Hello friends, and welcome to my Living in Marietta, Georgia channel. If you're new to this channel, it's all about what it's really like to live in Marietta, Georgia and surrounding areas. What it's like to live, eat, sleep, play, and everything in between. And if you're not new here, welcome back. Please hit the like button so others can find this video more easily, and hit the subscribe button and tap the bell so you get notified each time I upload a new video. My name's Dan Hillsman and I'm a real estate broker. We get so many calls from people reaching out to us about their move to Marietta, Georgia and surrounding areas, and we absolutely love it. So if you want to talk, you can give me a call, a text, an email, or skip all that and go straight to the front of the line by scheduling a Zoom call using the calendar link in the description below. However you want to get a hold of me, I've got your back when making a move to Marietta, Georgia and surrounding areas. Step number 1 is the weather. So today, this is time this filming this video, it's August. The weather's nice, it's a little bit hot, but it's not too hot. And I think it'll be in the high 80s, maybe low 90s today here in August. But the weather is great, so let's start with the spring. Love the spring in Powder Springs. I currently live in Powder Springs, raised my family in Powder Springs, a son and a daughter, wife, the kids in Powder Springs, and they love the outdoor activities and they love the weather. So as far as the spring goes, it's great for the walks, it's great for jogging, it's great for hiking. We have lots of trails and mountains nearby, so any of all of that you want to do. A lot of the neighborhoods have sidewalks. The neighborhood that I'm standing in today has sidewalks, so you'll see a lot of families and walking around in the neighborhoods, especially in the spring. If you're not a walker or a jogger, it's also great just to sit on the front porch in the spring. So you can sit on your porch, do some rocking, looking around. Even in the middle of the day in the spring, that's usually fine, but definitely in the mornings and the evenings, great weather for that. Great for picnics. So have a lot of different areas that you can go and have picnics in Powder Springs. And great for also for outdoor dining. So a lot of times, not all the restaurants, but some of them, when we go into, they'll ask us, hey, you want to sit inside or you want to sit on the patio? That's pretty much all the time except for the maybe the middle of the day in the summer, but definitely in the spring, all day, lunches and dinners. Usually you have outdoor dining options. The lakes, so we have lakes nearby and big lakes, little lakes, but the 2 big lakes that are nearby, so it's great for picnics, great for boating, great for swimming, fishing, wakeboarding. And also another thing I love about the spring in Powder Springs are the blossoms. So beautiful trees, lots of flowers, and a lot of blossoms. Just a beautiful place to live, and in the weather in the spring, it's amazing. So now let's look at the summer. So the summer in Powder Springs, we're all close to Atlanta, so as they say, hot Atlanta. It does get hot in the summer, but it's not super hot. It's also a humid kind of hot. So the high humidity level in the summer, and the temperatures, generally speaking, they're in the high, at the peak is in the 90s, sometimes high 90s. Some of the days may be in the high 80s, and that's in the middle of the day. Might start off in the high 70s, low 80s. At night, we're probably down in the 70s in the middle of the summer. But the summer's also great for cookouts and great for kids' sports. So with as far as raising a family here, anything that your children will want to do sports-wise, summers are great for that outdoors. And most of the neighborhoods also have pools. So a lot of the neighborhood, for great activity in the summertime is the pools. Most of them are fairly large and lots of chairs, and great way to get to meet your neighbors, watch your neighbors' kids, have them watch your kids at the pool. Another cool thing about Powder Springs are we're close to 2 lake beaches. So there's lakes that have actual white sand beaches, and that's not very far. One's 15-ish minutes, one's about 45 at the most, to go to the lake for the day to be at a beach. Another cool thing in the summer is outdoor concert series that we have nearby, family gatherings, and gardens and yard work. So not really my thing, but my wife loves piddling around in the yard, and summers are great for that here in Powder Springs, Georgia. So now let's look at the fall. So the fall is super similar to the spring as far as temperature goes. The spring's also, I forgot to mention, great for blossoms in Powder Springs, but you can also go about 30 minutes north and be in the foothills of the mountains and just see some amazing colors. As far as the fall goes, it's also great for walking, jogging, sitting on your porch, picnics, outdoor dining as well. Nice, crisp, cool weather in the fall, getting ready for the winter time. In Powder Springs, the winter, it's not too bad at all. Generally speaking, we're in the mid 30s 40s. I mean, it does get down to the teens every now and then, but it's still okay for a walk or a hike. You can get around with no problem. We don't have a lot of snow here, and that could be a downfall to you if you like a bit of snow. I mean, we might get a half an inch sometimes. Every now and then we'll get a few inches, but generally speaking, that's only once, maybe twice a year, sometimes not at all. Let's see. So also, you know, big in the south here in Powder Springs, and looking as far as the weather goes, looking for, you know, we love football and great football weather. But also, you know, about halfway through the winter, what I start doing, I start looking forward to the beautiful spring weather here in Powder Springs. All right, number one was the weather, so now let's get, number two is the educational opportunities. So a great reason to consider raising a family in Powder Springs, really good education, the school system, even the public school system. You can go to greatschools.org and see school rankings, but two high schools that are usually in the 9s, 9 out of 10. One's more like 6, 7. The middle school and elementary schools usually have a pretty high ranking. There is one middle school that has a pretty low ranking consistently. And so, you know, school ranking, or if you want some information besides what you can find on greatschools.org, you know, reach out to me. My children, my son and daughter, my wife and I, we've raised our kids here. They went to school in Powder Springs. They went to private school for a little while. They were in public schools. So I could be a great resource for you on that. From elementary to high school, you have great choices if you live in the right area as far as public schools. Now, if you want to take that and go to talk about the private schools, we have a lot of private school choices. We also have charter schools. And then for the kids that when they graduate graduate high school, they're going to go to college. A lot of them stay nearby, or because we have colleges in Metro Atlanta, being downtown Atlanta. Just for example, Emory University, Georgia State College. We have Georgia Tech, you know, not too far away. You couldn't really commute to University of Georgia, but it's not bad for the kids to come home for the weekend. And also very close by to Powder Springs, though, we have Kennesaw State College and Chattahoochee Tech. So great options for the children that after they graduate high school, they want to go away to college, but maybe not go away too far. So since those opportunities are there, we also, since we're near Metro Atlanta, education-wise for your family, raising a family, we have great intern choices. So any area of work that your kids are going to go into, we have great opportunities for them to intern here. And since there's about every industry in Metro Atlanta, great opportunities for interning. Now, another thing, like my son plays college baseball, and that might not have happened if we hadn't lived in Cobb County, Georgia, where Powder Springs is, because of the opportunity to get him additional coaching and training, sports and agility training. He's a baseball guy, so we had batting lessons, but high-level sports for the kids here, which can help for them to get athletic scholarship money. So I know a lot about that too, raising a son and daughter, and my daughter was in travel cheerleading, competition cheerleading for a while. So reach out to me if you want a little bit more information on that. But great educational opportunities for your kids here in Powder Springs. Now let's look at step number 3. Number 3 is the employment opportunities. So in Powder Springs, we have a lot of employment opportunities. Just outside of Powder Springs, we have a lot of employment opportunities. And then about 30 minutes from Powder Springs, depending on what part of downtown Atlanta, you know, pretty much anything and everything you'd want to do employment-wise is right there. From the film industry, music industry, corporations, you know, hospitality, healthcare, education. We are in metropolitan Atlanta, so lots and lots of opportunities for the parents as well as for the children. So back to raising the family here, you know, as my children became teenagers, there's a lot of different opportunities for them to get part-time jobs, to work in different locations and different type of jobs. So employment is not, you won't be lacking for employment. A lot of people do get transferred here with their jobs, but I think they're pleasantly surprised that there's so many opportunities for the kids as well. So if you want more information on opportunities or what my children did in their teens and early 20s for employment, my daughter's got a lot of that figured out. Reach out to me and I'll be happy to help you with that as well. So now let's look at number 4. Number 4 is the churches. So we are here in the South, we have lots of churches. There's churches nearby, there's big churches, there's little churches. We have denominational churches, we have non-denominational churches, we have churches with, you know, that have online service as well. A lot of our churches are also involved heavily in the community. I have a favorite church that, one of the churches that, gentleman that's the pastor of the church, and just think the world of him. So does a lot of different community activities. So anywhere that you would live in Powder Springs would be close to great church choices. And if that church wasn't in Powder Springs, then you would not have to travel very far at all. Wherever you would live in Powder Springs to have some great church choices. So let's look at step number 5. And then stick around to the end. I'm going to give you my 2 bonuses about why it's great to raise a family in Powder Springs, Georgia. So number 5. Number 5, living in Powder Springs and raising a family here, it's just a lot of fun. So there's tons of activities that you can do. If you like outdoor activities, we got it. If you like indoor activities, we have it. So there's outdoor concert series, great restaurants with patio dining, hiking trails, mountains, lakes, camping, fishing, anything you'd want to do there, that's fine. Theaters for plays. We have great movie theaters with IMAXs nearby. It's a golfer's paradise, so great golfing opportunities. If you like to golf, Powder Springs and nearby, lots and lots of golf courses. Great for baseball, football, basketball, hockey, soccer, and lacrosse. So if you want to go watch those activities with your family, it's fantastic. If you want to have your kids participate in those activities, endless choices there as well. If they're a low level in the sport or if they're high level, we got you covered here in Powder Springs and surrounding areas. Fine dining, there's great places to eat in Powder Springs. There's also great fine dining just nearby Powder Springs. Some that's standalone, some of it's in the hotels, 5-star hotels, which are, you only have to go to downtown Atlanta for that, kind of in between Powder Springs and Atlanta, a little bit off to the side. And also it's just beautiful, you know, a lot of great gardens, lots of blooming flowers, a lot of blooming trees, and just a beautiful place to live. Also, we're really close to the foothills of the mountains. Part of Powder Springs, when you're riding down, you can see a little bit of the mountains. We have Kennesaw Mountain, which is not in Powder Springs, but it's very close by. And so now for the bonuses. So the bonuses really are, my 2 or 3 are the weather. The weather's amazing and it's a lot of fun, but also probably the biggest deal for having fun and raising a family is the location. You know, you can get to anywhere that you would need to get to quickly to do whatever you want to get to, whether that's the airport to go out of town, just dining and the beaches, just anything that you'd want to do or that your family likes to do now for activity for fun. There's probably just as much or more of that opportunity here in Powder Springs, Georgia. So I'm Dan Hillsman. I love helping people with their moves to Powder Springs, Georgia and surrounding areas. However, you can get a hold of me too. Just give me a call, text, and email, or schedule a Zoom call on the calendar link below. However you want to get a hold of me, I got your back when making a move to Powder Springs, Georgia and surrounding areas.